everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I'm here with the amazing co-host, Julia.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here again. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. And if you've been learning with us for a while, thank you for joining once more.
Today's topic is super exciting. It's called Think Smart, Speak Fluent. Now, that might sound interesting, but what does it really mean?
Exactly. You see, many English learners focus only on speaking, but they forget that speaking fluently actually starts with thinking smartly. How we think affects how we speak.
That's right. If your thoughts are slow, or you keep translating from your first language, your speech will also feel slow. But if you learn to think smart fast, simple, and clear, your English will sound much more natural.
And don't worry, in this episode, we're going to help you understand how to train your brain to think in English smartly and fluently.
Yes, we'll share some powerful tips, mental exercises, and even a fun practice challenge at the end.
So, stay with us till the end, take some notes if you want, and let's learn how to think smart and speak fluent.
So, Julia, let's start with the main question. What does it really mean to think smart in English?
That's a great question, Jason. When we say think smart, we don't mean thinking faster like a computer. It's more about thinking in a simple, clear, and direct way.
Exactly. Many English learners try to translate every word from their native language into English. That makes their brain work too hard, and they get stuck trying to find the right words.
Right. Thinking smart means you stop translating and start forming ideas directly in English. For example, instead of thinking, I am hungry in your first language and then translating, you just think it in English right away.
Yes, and it also means choosing simple sentences that are easy to say. Smart thinkers don't try to sound complicated. They focus on clear communication.
I love that. It's not about big words or perfect grammar. It's about expressing your thoughts easily and naturally.
That's the secret. When you train your brain to think this way, your words start to flow faster, and your confidence grows.
So true. And in the next part, we'll talk about why thinking smart leads to speaking fluent and how the mind and mouth work together when you speak English.
Let's get into it.
All right, Jason, now that we know what it means to think smart, let's talk about why it actually helps you speak fluently.
Yes. You see, fluency isn't only about speaking fast, it's about how fast your brain can find the right words and connect them into ideas.
Exactly. When you think smart, you train your mind to organize thoughts quickly and clearly. That means your mouth doesn't have to wait for your brain to translate or search for words.
That's a great point. Many learners speak slowly not because they don't know English, but because they're still processing it in their native language.
Right. But when your thoughts come in English simple and direct, your words start to flow naturally. It's like driving on a smooth road instead of a bumpy one.
I like that example. Thinking smart removes the bumps, the hesitations, long pauses, and translation delays.
And that's how your confidence grows too. The more your brain gets used to thinking smartly, the easier it becomes to speak without fear.
Exactly. So, if you want to speak fluent English, you must first train your brain to think smart.
Well said, Jason. And up next, we'll share our first practical step, how to simplify your thoughts so you can speak faster and sound more natural.
Let's dive in. All right, let's start with step 1, learn to simplify your thoughts.
Yes, this step is so important. Many learners think that to speak fluent English, they need to use big words or complex grammar. But actually, fluency begins with simplicity.
Exactly. When you try to think of long, difficult sentences, your brain slows down. But when your thoughts are short and clear, the words come out easily.
For example, instead of thinking, I'm feeling very tired because I didn't sleep well last night, you can simply say, I'm tired today. I didn't sleep well. Same idea, just simpler.
Yes, and simple English is not bad English. In fact, most native speakers use short, direct sentences in daily conversation.
That's true. So next time you speak, don't try to sound perfect. Just focus on clear ideas. The simpler your thought, the faster you'll speak.
Exactly. And once your mind gets used to this, your English will sound more natural and confident.
Perfect. Now, let's move to step 2, how to build English thinking habits so your brain automatically starts forming thoughts.
Let's go!
Now, let's talk about step 2, build English thinking habits.
Yes, this is where real fluency begins. If you always translate from your first language to English, you'll always speak slowly. The secret is to think directly in English.
That's right. It's like building a new road in your brain. At first, it's not easy. You have to train your mind every day to use English for your thoughts.
Exactly. One simple way to do this is by describing your daily life in English. For example, when you wake up, think I'm brushing my teeth, or I'm making coffee. Just small, natural sentences in your head.
Yes, and you can also talk to yourself quietly during the day. For example, if you see something interesting, think, that's beautiful, or it's a sunny day.
That's a great exercise. Another idea is to plan your day in English. Before you start your work or study, tell yourself what you'll do in English, of course.
Right. The more you do this, the more your brain starts to choose English automatically. It becomes a habit, and soon you'll notice you're not translating anymore.
Exactly. And once you think in English naturally, speaking becomes faster, smoother, and much more confident.
That's so true. And coming up next, we'll show you how to improve your mental vocabulary access so you can find the right words quickly when you speak.
Stay tuned! All right. Step 3, improve mental vocabulary access. Julia, this one is super important, right?
Absolutely. Many English learners actually know a lot of words, but when it's time to speak, their mind just goes blank.
Yes. It's not that they don't know the word, it's just hiding somewhere in the brain. The goal here is to train your mind to find words faster.
Exactly. One powerful way to do that is to group your vocabulary by topics or categories. For example, make small lists like food words, travel words, or emotion words. This helps your brain connect words easily.
That's a great idea. You can also use what I call flash recall practice. It's simple. Pick a random word and say as many related words as you can in 30 seconds. Like if you say travel, you can add airport, plane, ticket, luggage, hotel.
Oh, I love that game. It's fun and trains your brain to think fast in English. You can even do it while walking or waiting in line.
Exactly. Another helpful technique is visualization. Imagine pictures for new words when you think of apple. See a real apple in your mind. This makes recall much faster.
Yes, because the brain remembers images better than translations. So when you see or imagine something, the English word pops up naturally.
Right. And if you practice this daily, you'll notice your speaking becomes smoother because your words are ready before you even need them.
Perfect. And next we'll move to step 4, how to practice fast thinking challenges to make your brain even quicker when speaking English.
This one's going to be fun. Now we're at step 4, practice fast thinking challenges. This one's all about training your brain to think quickly in English.
Yes. Many learners know English, but when someone asks a question, they freeze for a few seconds. It's not because they don't know the answer, it's because their brain needs practice thinking fast.
Exactly. So the goal here is to train your reaction time in English. One great way to do this is the quick answer game.
Oh, I love that one. How does it work again?
It's simple. You ask yourself random questions and answer them as fast as you can. For example, what's your favorite food? Pizza. What did you do yesterday? I studied English. Don't stop to think. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
That's a great way to train your brain to respond instantly, and you can even do it with a friend or while looking in the mirror.
Exactly. Another fun one is the 1-minute story challenge. Pick a random word like rain, school, or friend, and tell a quick story using that word for 1 minute.
That's such a powerful exercise. It helps your brain think in full sentences, not just single words. And the more you do it, the faster your brain connects ideas in English.
Yes, the secret here is not to worry about mistakes. The goal is speed and flow, not perfection.
Exactly. Over time, your brain will automatically become quicker, and your fluency will grow naturally.
That's right. And speaking of confidence, in our next step, we'll talk about how to control your emotions while speaking English, because fear and nervousness can really slow down your thinking.
That's a big one. Let's get into it. All right, Step 5, control your emotions while speaking. This is something every English learner struggles with, right, Jason?
Oh yes, definitely. Many learners know the words and grammar, but the moment they start speaking, they feel nervous, and suddenly, their mind goes blank.
Exactly. That nervous feeling slows your thinking and makes you forget what you already know. It's like your brain freezes.
That's right. So the first thing to remember is it's completely normal. Everyone feels nervous, even native speakers sometimes. The key is learning how to stay calm.
A simple trick I use is deep breathing. Before you speak, take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. It relaxes your body and clears your mind.
That's a great one. Another idea is to focus on your message, not your mistakes. When you care more about communicating your idea than being perfect, you'll speak much more naturally.
Exactly. And remember, no one expects you to speak like a native. People appreciate your effort, not your accent.
So true. The moment you stop worrying about judgment, your brain opens up and your thinking becomes faster and smarter.
Yes, and confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from practice and patience. Every time you speak, you're building emotional strength.
Beautifully said, Julia. And coming up next, we'll talk about using English in real situations, because the best way to train your emotions and your thinking is real life.
Let's do it!
Now, let's move to Step 6, use English in real situations. This is where all your practice becomes real progress.
Yes, you can study grammar and memorize vocabulary all day, but real fluency only comes when you use English in your daily life.
Exactly. The more you use English, the more your brain starts to think smartly and automatically. You begin to connect words and ideas faster because you're practicing in real time.
Right? And using English doesn't mean you have to move to another country. You can use it right where you are. For example, text your friends in English, write your daily plans in English, or leave English comments on social media.
Yes, and one of my favorite tips is to watch short English videos or podcasts and try to respond out loud. Pretend you're part of the conversation. It's great for real speaking practice.
That's a fun one. You can also join online English groups or communities where people talk about topics you enjoy: movies, travel, or technology. That way, you're using English in a real and natural way.
Exactly. Real communication teaches your brain to think faster because you need to react instantly just like in real life.
Yes, and the more you do it, the less afraid you feel. You start thinking, hey, I can really do this. And that's when fluency begins.
Beautifully said. Coming up next, we'll share a real-life success story. Someone who learned to think smart and speak fluent by using these exact methods.
Oh, I love stories like that. Let's hear it.
Now, Julia, let's share a real-life story. I think this one will really inspire our listeners.
Yes. So I want to tell you about my friend Ahmed. When he first started learning English, he could read and write, but speaking was very difficult. He would pause, translate in his head, and often feel nervous.
I remember him. But then he started following the exact steps we're talking about today, simplifying his thoughts, thinking directly in English, practicing fast responses, and using English in real-life situations.
Exactly. At first, it was challenging, but he practiced every day. He even started talking to himself in English while cooking or walking. Slowly, his brain got faster at finding the right words.
And after a few months, something amazing happened. He started speaking confidently with his classmates, joining online conversations, and even giving short presentations, all without translating first.
Yes, Ahmed's fluency grew because he trained his brain to think smartly in English, and the best part, he became much more confident and comfortable speaking.
That's right. And if Ahmed could do it, our listeners can too with the right practice and habits.
Absolutely. Real stories like this show that fluency isn't about talent, it's about smart thinking, consistent practice, and patience.
Exactly. And now, let's give our listeners a quick practice activity they can try today to train their brain to think smart and speak fluent. All right, Julia, it's time for a quick practice activity, something our listeners can do right now to train their brain.
Yes, this one is simple but very effective. It's called the 5-sentence story challenge. Here's how it works.
Pick any topic. It could be my morning, my favorite food, or a fun day. Then, in English, create a story using only 5 short sentences. Keep it simple and don't translate from your native language.
Exactly. For example, if the topic is my morning, you can say, I wake up at 7 a.m., I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I go for a walk, I start my work.
Perfect. Notice how each sentence is short and clear. This exercise trains your brain to think in English, recall words fast, and form sentences naturally.
And here's the tip. Do this every day and try to increase your speed little by little. Soon you'll notice your English thoughts are becoming faster and smoother.
Exactly. Small, daily practices like this are the key to thinking smart and speaking fluent.
So listeners, grab a notebook or just speak out loud and try your 5-sentence story today.
All right, Julia, let's quickly recap what we've learned today.
Yes. First, we talked about what it means to think smart, keeping your thoughts simple, clear, and direct in English.
Then we saw why thinking smart leads to speaking fluent, because your brain processes English faster and your words flow naturally.
We also shared practical steps. Simplify your thoughts, build English thinking habits, improve your vocabulary access, practice fast thinking challenges, control your emotions, and use English in real situations.
Exactly. And we even gave you a quick practice activity, the 5-sentence story, to train your brain and start speaking confidently.
Remember, fluency is not about perfection. It's about practice, smart thinking, and consistency. Every small step you take makes your brain stronger and your English faster.
That's right. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start thinking smart in English today. Speak freely, make mistakes, learn, and grow.
Your fluency will improve day by day. Keep practicing, stay confident, and enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. And coming up next, we'll close the episode with a short message and a call to action. And that's a wrap for today's episode of English Learning Podcast. We hope you enjoyed learning how to think smart and speak fluent.
Yes, remember, fluency comes from consistent practice, simple thinking, and using English in real situations. Start today, even if it's just a few minutes, and you'll see progress fast.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a new lesson.
And leave us a comment. Tell us how you practiced thinking smart in English today. We'd love to hear your stories.
Thank you for joining us, and keep practicing. Your English journey is just getting started.
See you in the next episode. And remember, think smart, speak fluent.